Gio, look, mate, I don't want to seem condescending or anything like that, but there's just a few things I think I need to run through with you, okay? Yeah, just checking you understand. For example, you know, the thing that we're standing on, this black stuff, that's the track, and you really do need to keep your car on it at all times. Hey guys, I'm Aussie Villain, and welcome back to Forza Ferrari. Today we have the final race before the summer break. It is the Belgian Grand Prix at Spa, one of the great tracks. And let's hope that we can keep it on the track because it's not gone well the last few races. Red Bull absolutely run away with the constructors they are right now. And the drivers, well, Giovinazzi's gone from being in a title race to not being that far ahead of Oscar Piastri now. So, yeah, it's gone a little bit wrong, a little bit quickly. And not too much to catch you up on because there's only been 4 days in game since the last race. And so let's have a look here. Now, we are expecting rain. Excellent for the race. Circuit map, red is sector 1, blue sector 2, yellow sector 3. We can see they're mostly medium speed corners, long straights, and a couple of slow traction zones to start and finish the lap. Car attributes there, top speed, acceleration, high speed corners. We can see there it's a very short, in terms of time loss, very short pit stop. And if you do get a safety car, 8 seconds, given you own fresh tyres, it's essentially free, isn't it? So we'll definitely be looking to take advantage of that if the opportunity arises. That being the case, a one-stop doesn't particularly make sense if you can get in and out quickly on a soft tyre. Now, the difference in time between a soft and a medium isn't maybe huge, but if you're only losing 16 seconds maximum, well, in theory, take into account the Ferrari clowns that change the tyres for us. But yeah, you know, as long as you're off a hard tyre, I think you'll be okay. Historically, we've never won here, but Red Bull, in our world, has only ever won once, and it was Perez. It wasn't even Max Verstappen. So, not many tracks in this series we've got here that Verstappen hasn't won at. This, though, is one of them. So, what are our performance targets? Let's go and have a look. Qualifying, 2 cars in the top 4. It's putting a bit of a challenge on us, isn't it? Let's hope we can do that. Fastest lap and a finishing position inside the top 4, I'd like to think so. And then we need 1 car in the top 6 for 2 races to get that money. And same thing in the race. So that all looks fairly doable. Let's head off to Spa. It's a sprint weekend as well, isn't it? Of course it is. So let's go and see what this rain's going to be like on the Sunday. So, moderate rain. Now, where was it? Britain, was it Silverstone? It was supposed to be heavy rain that never really got to wet tyres, which caught me out. Moderate rain, we'll just, yeah, hope for the best, I suppose. All right, I only get 1 free practice session at this, so I'll go and do that, then I'll see you for qualifying. Alright, so we've done free practice. It was absolutely fine. We did the old engine parts and whatnot, and also hard tyres the entire session. Just 1 set, 14th and 16th, so that's not too bad. Now, I've already done Q1 because I was expecting it would be fine, but unfortunately, I can't show you that. It'll be available after the session. Anyway, what I can tell you is that they both got through absolutely fine. Just so you're updated on setups, you can see there we've not quite nailed Giovinazzi's. We've not quite nailed either of them, really, but it's not too bad. In terms of new parts, new engine in this one for Giovinazzi, so if he has a bad qualifying, we'll be able, at any point, we can now take a new engine, take the penalties with a bad qualifying session. And as for Piastri, we've used his last ERS. Now, both guys will probably need to take a penalty for that particular part at some point in the season, so you're using up the last new one here. It's a power track, it makes sense, but also we are able now to take penalties if we need to get extra parts with a bad qualifying. So on to Q2, should be fine again, I would hope. Alright, so here we go on our second run. First run was on old tyres. There was a lot of traffic on the track. I think a lot of people got held up by traffic. So we're currently 10th and 11th, so there is a little bit of pressure on us here. But we should, on new tyres without the traffic, neither car has any traffic in front of them, we should, and we've got a purple there from Giovinazzi, be okay here, I would have hoped. But yeah, like I say, there was a lot of traffic. Everybody seemed to come out, but it was sort of like in 2 parts, so we didn't necessarily have traffic that was on sort of doing a push lap, but we had cars on their out laps that were sort of causing us to slow down a little bit. So let's see Giovinazzi's second split time. Get out of the way. That's a green, so again, not too bad. Is this car going to block Piastri now? It's going to be the big question. It looks like he's going to be okay. Into the chicane we go. Where does Giovinazzi put himself? He will go 3rd, so he should be good. And let's see what Piastri can do. He needs to improve, and he goes 4th. So that should be us both through quite comfortably, I would hope. So yeah, both through nice and comfortably. Let's see where we're going to start the sprint race from. Alright, we've done our first run on used tyres. Giovinazzi is currently on pole and Piastri 4th. Now that was, I said, on used tyres as well. We are the two of Magnussen's behind us, but he is going to get to the line, it looks like, only just. So we are the last two cars more or less on track, less Magnussen. So let's have a look and see what everybody else is doing here. Verstappen is going fast. You kind of would expect him to do that. Neither of us have done a faster first sector. Now the fact we were in a little bit of a train in the first run meant that we had slipstream. So I'm wondering if that is something I should have looked to do again on this lap, as Verstappen goes fastest. And if we're not green through the middle sector, then we're not going to go quicker, because no, Piastri, can he do green? So Piastri's a chance of going faster here, and he needs to, because he's currently 8th. Yeah, Piastri would have had the bigger toe, although he would have had 2 cars in front of him, I suppose. Maybe that helped him out. So Giovinazzi doesn't improve. Oscar Piastri, can he improve? He goes 2nd as Oscar onto the front row. So, very, very nicely done indeed. Still a little bit of a gap to Verstappen, but we'll take 2nd and 3rd for the sprint race, won't we? On we go to that. Alright, so here we go with the sprint race. We are both on soft tyres. It looks like there's a couple of mediums there, but most of the field will be on soft tyres to get you. There's a hard tyre at the back, which is an interesting strategy, I would have thought, as we've lost out to an Alpine there, have we? No. So let's first things first, let's jump on board. We've got Piastri in front. Now, does Piastri have a bit of a run on Verstappen here? No, is the short answer to that. So yeah, there was a hard at the back. I did notice, so I missed, sorry to say that George Russell was knocked out in Q1. So he's right down the back. But yeah, most people are on a soft, and it does get you there. Obviously not pushing like this, it doesn't, but it does get you there. So we'll push hard for a first couple of a lap or so. We can get into the DRS zone, range, I should say. What's the word I'm looking for? When that opens, which is at the end of this lap, I believe. Then we can, then we can sort of go from there. So it should be open this lap. Piastri does the fastest lap of the race. There's DRS enabled. And we can hopefully just start to back things off a little bit now. And try and stay with Max Verstappen. So I'll sort of keep you updated how this is going. It looks like already the first 3 have broken away a little bit. So, yeah, let's hope we can stick with Max, who is... We might need to push on a little bit more than that, as he is definitely taken off. So, maybe a little bit too conservative, a little bit too early on here. But if he's pushing his tyres hard, then he should come back to us at some point. But he has taken off a 1.5 seconds up the road. Giovinazzi is locked up again.
Guys, I struggle with the brakes so much.
Yeah, you are struggling with the brakes, mate. You're struggling with your patience, so he's going to go back to last. Dude, it's a friggin' sprint race. Well, thankfully, Giovinazzi's not the only moron, because the 2 AlphaTauris have hit each other, so you would be absolutely furious. You've ruined both their Grand Prix there. Unbelievable. I'll tell you what, we're halfway through this one. There is so many mistakes. Giovinazzi hasn't had to overtake anybody yet, and he's already up to 16th. So yeah, if that keeps happening, as long as Piastri keeps on the track, we've kind of conceded the race to Verstappen. What we will do is we might look to push on a little bit towards the end. We're just saving some tyres right now, so if we've got the chance to do that, we will. But even like this, we're sort of matching Ocon's lap times behind, and we've got a 2-second gap. So there's no point stressing ourselves. You know, if we start the Grand Prix from 2nd, then that's not a bad place to be. Giovinazzi will, yeah, I mean, he will attack at some point, but the lockup, of course, took some life out of his tyres as well, which doesn't help when you're trying to come back through the field. So we've charged up his battery, and we'll just try and, yeah, pick cars off as quickly as possible. Alright, now we're on the final lap. We are having a bit of a go at Verstappen. Ultimately, I don't think we're going to quite be able to bring him back. We really need to be in DRS range here. As for Giovinazzi, again, we're having a nice big crack at this. And, well, he's on full attack mode as well. And we'll just kind of see what we get here. It's going to have to be a big move. Ultimately, I think what we'll do is it's not going to be a great starting position for the race anyway. We'll just take his penalties here. We'll just load up on everything, and yeah, see how that goes. I mean, we'll race it to the end because why wouldn't we? But yeah, it's if we start 14th, even if we get to any rig 13th, ultimately, I mean, look who's behind us. We might as well just start from the back and have a new engine, and we'll have to worry about it later on in the season. But Piastri, we've missed it. He's come across to finish second, and Giovinazzi is going to trail down in 13th, it looks like, in the end. And, yeah, well, I think we can all say that's pretty disappointing, really, from Giovinazzi having started third. Alright, so strategy. Unfortunately, I was a little ways into the race and it crashed. So, yeah, that's annoying. So, let's have a look here. So, we're going to take all the penalties. We might as well take them all now. If we're going to start from the back, then start from the back properly. And, yeah, you can only go back to 20th, obviously. We might as well put a new gearbox in, so when he wrecks the car, it just destroys everything. In terms of strategy, now I did talk this through more last attempt at doing this race. What we're going to do is, and I didn't actually get even to the first stop, so I don't know 100% this is going to work, but we're going to go soft, and that'll enable us to push quite a bit. And yeah, because Giovinazzi is obviously going to need to come from the back. He's going to need to get overtakes done, and then Piastri. I think we saw enough in that sprint race that he was able to pull out a big enough gap on third place on 15 laps on the same tyres. That if he was to have a tyre advantage and hopefully get past Verstappen for some free air, he should have more than enough to be able to pull out 16 seconds. It was for a stop. I would back our boy to be able to go and do that. So that's going to be the strategy. Let's hope I'm right. Like I say, I didn't get that far into the race at all to know if it is actually going to work out or not. So just annoying I've got to start again. Alright, welcome back. Looks like a lot of medium tyres. Now, yeah, which is what happened the first time around, is that everybody was on a medium. So that is indeed weird that Science would start the sprint race on a hard. Let's jump on board with Piastri, and let's jump on board with Piastri. But the actual Grand Prix, he started on a not the hard. You would have thought, yeah, doesn't really make sense. Go on, Piastri, can he get a move done? Not quite there. So yeah, well, we'll just kind of see. We're the only two cars on the soft. Yeah, because I think Piastri in the sprint race pulled out, was it in the end about 5 seconds, I think, on Ocon in third, and that was on the same tyre. So we should be able to maybe not get the whole 16 seconds, that might be a little bit ambitious, but we should get close enough to remember that we're going to be coming out on a new soft tyre and everybody else is going to be on old mediums. So I'm hoping that it's going to work out for the best. If we could get Verstappen nice and early here, that would be very, very useful. And if we could get him before DRS and maybe even pull away, as that is, oh, hold your breath stuff through there. Go on, Oscar. Can he go and get him down the inside here? Not quite. But you imagine with DRS next time around, that's looking like it should be doable. Giovinazzi, we've seen it time and time again. He just struggles to get the overtakes done. He needs to get the Hassers nice and quickly. In his credit, he's already got both the AlphaTauris out of the way. So if he can go and get these guys as well, then that might be quite useful for us. But anyway, I'll keep you updated. This is where he gets a lot of his moves done, but not on this occasion. Piastri has lost the DRS to Verstappen, but I suspect Verstappen is pushing. But this wasn't supposed to happen. Ocon has, at the end of the Camel Straight, got past Piastri. So that's a bit of a spanner in the work. Yeah. Hopefully that's not going to... I mean, what they will be doing is pushing their medium tyres beyond where they should be able to go if they're going to get to the rain at any sort of pace. So maybe it's a case of we're benefiting ourselves a little bit more down the line right now. But yeah, I was certainly not anticipating being behind Ocon when we sort of got off the line and were sitting in second. So anyway, let's see if we can get him back here. We might as well use this to recharge a bit of battery, if nothing else, as we go down the outside. And that's a very good move. Not quite able to make it stick, though. So we should get him back without too much trouble, it looks like. But yeah, we've got a little bit of a train of cars in the DRS behind us. So we do probably need to get this done as quickly as we possibly can. All right, so here we go. Another hold your breath one, but we're alongside him before we get DRS. DRS should come online as Giovinazzi gets another overtake done, and still we are stuck behind Ocon as Verstappen drives off into the distance. A yellow flag.
Big notch there.
And
Out of debris.
What's happened there? Sainz and Zoe, they've seemed to have dropped down. It is Sainz and Zoe, so that helps Giovinazzi as well. 2 cars ahead of him. Very nicely done, boys. Excellent work. So it's taken 8 laps, but Giovinazzi has just got past Bottas, which means he is back in the points. Now, yes, he's got a tyre advantage and he's pushing. That's still pretty impressive, though, isn't it? Alright, so we have got Piastri in the DRS range of Verstappen. So that's obviously good. 16 seconds for a pit stop is going to be about Bottas, so that's not too bad. Giovinazzi is still in 10th. He's lapping well. And if he was to stop now, he would come out more or less back behind the Hassas, but we're not stopping just yet. So, fingers crossed here. Piastri can go and get Verstappen the next lap or two. Verstappen looks like he's just putting his foot down a little bit more. We're entering in towards our pit stop window. And like I say, 16 seconds for now for him is Bottas. We would then come out on fresh softs and presumably be quite quick compared to those around us. So, I mean, even now, lap times... 46.9 last time around was not a great lap, but it's still most of the field's in 47s. And Giovinazzi did a 45 and it's just got past Albon as well. So Giovinazzi is absolutely flying. If he stays on the track, he's dangerous. He just likes to throw it off in the weeds all the time, doesn't he? But again, he's going to have to go basically backwards quite a ways and then come back through again. So let's hope he can do it. Alright, and here we go. If we don't get him here, we should get him into at the end of the Camel Straight here, and that will be Piastri into the lead, or is he not going to quite be able to do this, maybe? Just blocked himself a little bit into the hairpin, didn't he? So maybe we're going to spend another lap behind him, but this isn't necessarily about getting Verstappen now. This is about building the gap, and we've almost got the gap we need to Albon in 10th, so that is good. And 16 seconds we should be able to make up relatively quickly with Verstappen on older tyres and we're on new softs, I would have thought and hoped. So Verstappen's pushing again. I think he knows he's in a bit of trouble though, perhaps. Some of these, look at these medium tyres, then he's got a long way to go yet. Unless that rain, when it comes, is instantly going on to Inters, but I don't think it's going to be. So, yeah, this could work out for us very well. Alright, now Piastri is on his in-lap. He's just starting to match the lap times of those sort of down the field. He's losing a little bit of time in truth. So we're going to bring him in. It was his optimal lap anyway, so it didn't really matter. And then Giovinazzi's going to come in the lap after. He's still doing okay lap time. So 16 seconds, if it's a good stop, we'll come out ahead of Albon. As for Giovinazzi, 16 seconds is what, 29? So he should come out round about Leclerc. So here we go with Piastri. Let's hope we get a good one. Off on go. Not too bad. 2.3. We would have killed for that earlier on in the series, wouldn't we? So he said he should come out ahead of Albon, and he has. So that is excellent news. Just aggressive though. Let's make sure the tyres are going to get where we need them to, and that is going to beat Giovinazzi ahead of him. He's on a bit of a full push. What did I say? 29 seconds. So yes, Tsunoda is roughly where we're looking to come out. If we can get out ahead of Tsunoda, that would be a wonderful thing. But we're going to need the Ferrari boys to do a decent pit stop for us. It'll be interesting to see what sort of lap times Piastri can manage as well. It'll be a very good time with him to go and try and get fastest lap. So we'll deploy him out of this corner. Try and go and do that. And then let's see what we get here with Giovinazzi. Off on go. 2.3 again. Well done to the Ferrari boys. Do we get out ahead of Tsunoda? Looks like we are right there with him. But it looks also like we have indeed got out ahead of him. So that is all good news. Let's hope that we can run down these guys as quickly as possible. We'll wait to the end of this lap with Piastri and see exactly what the time difference is looking like. He's done a purple sector. He's going to get held up here as well. He has done a purple sector. So this is George Russell in front. And then it's Stroll in front of him. So he's got 4 cars here that if he can get them quickly, then it's not going to be too bad. Did he get fastest lap? He did. A 44.6 to Verstappen's 46.4. Which is confusing, but it's a very big difference in time, isn't it? This could work out very, very nicely for us. Again, with the caveat, we need to get overtakes done quickly and cleanly. Come on. It's a bit of a... Just got hung out a little bit there, didn't we? So there's one. Can we go and get Stroll now? I tell you what, Russell's not going away. He probably should give it up, though. This isn't really his battle, I wouldn't have thought, although he's also Verstappen's teammate, isn't he? And we still haven't made that one stick. We've been side by side for half a lap. And that is not easy to do. I mean, considering the extra grip we have, it shouldn't really be possible. But anyway, with a bit of DRS here, we should be able to get them both down this straight, shouldn't we? There's one, there's two. Job done. Alright, so first rain is expected in a few minutes' time. Only light rain. We're not expecting sort of actual track conditions to change till about lap 30. So that gives us 9 laps. And Piastri is currently all over the back of Ocon in the Alpine and then Gasly in front of him in the McLaren. We'd like to get these guys out of the way as quickly as possible so we can set off down the road for Perez and then Verstappen after that. So, yeah, we've still got a little bit of work to do, it must be said. And yeah, as long as the rain sort of doesn't come in too heavy too early, it should be fine. As you can see, the medium tyres are still way worse off than what we are. And Giovinazzi, he's also going okay in truth. So yeah, we need light rain for as long as possible. And that'll do us big favours. Because, I mean, even stuck in traffic, we're still a second or so faster than Verstappen with Piastri. 44, so we're 3 seconds faster with Giovinazzi, who has done the fastest lap now as well. So, we're very quick. It's just a matter as Giovinazzi makes another position, and so does Piastri. Yellow flag as well. That's not Giovinazzi, is it? No, he's overtaken Albon, so that's fine.
Yeah,
oh, Piastri! He's stuck in it. It's just started to rain.
It helps when you stay on the track.
Yeah, it does, mate. Get on the track, you muppet.
We have speed in the race, so what?
It's like having Logan Sargent and Mick Schumacher at Haas again. Down to 10th. 7 places he's lost. Okay, now, pit stop beginning. Piastri knackered his tyres, which is not ideal. It turns out we probably could have been pushing these tyres a little bit harder, though. Piastri, I think, will definitely bring in on the next lap, because his tyres are old now anyway, and so he needs to... I can't believe he's done that. And then Giovinazzi... Is it going to go wet? It really has taken some time. I think it's going to be better off coming in this lap than next lap by looks of things, isn't it? So, let's see. I think we will just about still have the advantage. It's a yellow flag. If we get a safety car now, that would be a massive advantage. Verstappen's in. No, it's not going to be a safety car. So, let's see where this brings Giovinazzi out. He was about 6th, I think, coming before the pit stop. So I quite have sort of lost track of it a little bit. 2.2. And Piastri, I mean, that just sums up his day, really, doesn't it? So Giovinazzi, after all of that, has come out in 4th. Only just ahead of Lando Norris, but ahead of him nonetheless. And Piastri is 10th. So they're sort of having the race that I would have expected each other to have, to be honest. And it's actually dried up a little bit since we came in. Which is frustrating. I'm assuming everybody is on Inters. Yeah, so we're on the same tyre as everybody. I just wonder, Giovinazzi probably could have stayed out and done even better there. But I think it's probably worth coming in and not taking the risk, in truth. But anyway... let's see where we go from here now. Alright, so the track has just gone to damp, and hopefully we're about to get past Norris, who I think did a bit of a cheeky move on us while I was looking at Piastri and trying to get him past Albon. So we're not quite out of the way here yet. Come on, GIO. Come on, GIO. There we go. So yeah, I think in hindsight we could have stayed out on the softs for longer, which would have, I think, benefited us quite substantially. But obviously I wasn't to know that at the time. So yeah, well, we'll see how we do with lap times. We're not particularly quick, so it might be not a great race in the end. Alright, so we've got 11 laps to go here, and Giovinazzi has caught Perez and Gasly, and he's catching Verstappen as well, over a second on the last lap. So, I mean, there's still some laps to go, and they're long laps at Spa as well. Could we be talking a last to first? I don't think I've ever had that in Formula 1 Manager before, so that would be something, wouldn't it? Yeah, that would be absolutely incredible if he could do it. I don't know that he can, and Piastri is doing his best to try and come back. He's got a bit of a gap. If he can get to Stroll, sort of there's Norris, Russell, Ocon and Stroll are all sort of fairly close together. If we look at last laps, oh, there we go. Giovinazzi just got past Perez, matched Verstappen's lap time last time around, but Piastri, fastest man on track. So, yeah, it's just such a shame we can't stay on the track when we need to. So Piastri is absolutely flying. He has caught this battle in a couple of laps, and yeah, he's 2 seconds a lap faster, which is huge. Now the track is starting to dry up. There is a chance it could go to slicks for the last few laps. So I'm just saving some fuel to make sure that we're not going to get caught out. Needing to save fuel when we could be going on full attack. So, yeah, we might leave it on this for now. Let's go full attack here with Piastri. Giovinazzi is right behind Gasly as well for second. Verstappen feels a little bit like he's got us covered and just picking up the pace when he needs to. So that is always depressing, but we are catching him. You know, the gap's down to sort of 3.5 seconds. I'm really kicking myself I didn't leave him out for that extra. Piastri kind of needed to come in anyway. He probably could have got another lap or two in truth. But yeah, Giovinazzi particularly definitely could have stayed out, really pushing on fairly good soft tyres. And I'm really annoyed at myself that I saw everybody else coming in and going sort of 90 odd mil, and yeah, not trusting our weather forecast. So I'm trusting our weather forecast at about lap 40. It's going to get back to dry. So we could make back a lot of time on a short stop as well, if nobody else does it. Alright, Giovinazzi is going to have a big go at Gasly at the end of this straight. We need to get this done. He's slowing us up. We need to get past. Piastri is also having quite the run at the two cars that he is battling with. Again, Giovinazzi just cannot get overtakes done when you're needing to get overtakes done. Piastri, truth be told, hasn't done much better there, has he? So, frustrating. Very, very frustrating. We need to get these overtakes done. Alright, so I've just had another check of the forecast, and we're not expecting to get any drier than this. So this is what we've got to the end. We've already saved fuel, so that, I mean, it means we can push that little bit. Oh, Giovinazzi, you're an absolute moron. An absolute moron.
This happens down at turn 8.
Do we stick somebody else in the car? That's unbelievable. So he's back down to 4th. I mean, we did get a message saying that he was in decline. I mean, it's a pretty epic decline, isn't it? Oh. Alright, so we've got 2 laps to go. Ocon is definitely holding up Piastri now, and it looks like he has finally got past him, but I think the damage is done because everybody else has sort of moved on up the road. So, yeah, we'll see, obviously, if he can run him down. Anybody else? Oh, somebody else has gone off there. That was a Norris, I think I saw dropping down the order.
There's a yellow flag now.
So that helps Piastri, not necessarily Giovinazzi. Giovinazzi does have Russell behind him. I'm scared to tell him to push now. I mean, you shouldn't be scared to tell your driver to drive fast, should you? But yeah, we'll just kind of see. We've gifted podiums to, well, gifted a win to Verstappen, a podium to Gasly and Perez, and yeah, it's just beggars belief. Both drivers, of course, haven't they, have stuffed it up. Piastri looked to have certainly second in the bag, and then so did Giovinazzi, and they've both thrown it away. So it's not much you can do really, except cry and tell me how bad you feel for me in the comments, I guess. All right, could we get Stroll? Could we get Stroll? There's a chance. There is a chance. They're going to need a big move into the final chicane, but there is a chance. Verstappen's about to win the race any second. There he goes there. We're going to stay on board here. Giovinazzi's about to come across the line and finish fourth, which could have been so much better. And, well, it's going to be seventh for Piastri. Now, let's not forget, it was last to fourth for Giovinazzi, but he could so easily have gone last to first there. He really, really could have. At a minimum, he was going to go for last to second. Piastri, I mean, he did it to himself, really. I think the extra stop, I do think it worked. I really, really do. It's just that we just made mistakes at the wrong time. So the drivers, both drivers with 13 points, taking the sprint race into account. But yeah, it's just Verstappen driving off into the sunset again, isn't it? And in the constructors, well, we're going to finish second for another season, which is just so depressing. So this brings us to the summer break, of course. So our mid-season review, everything is on target for what they asked for. So that's all good. You'd expect them to be fairly happy. But yeah, we are going to have new parts on the car after this winter break. We'll have underfloor, front wing, and suspension upgrades. Hopefully that gets us up with Red Bull. We will be developing through to the end of the season because we know that this is our last season on the series. There is no next season, and it's not looking like there's much of a this season either right now, is there? So I'll be back after the winter break. It's the Verstappen Grand Prix at Zandvoort, and hopefully, if there's one place it'd be very nice to beat him, it would be there, wouldn't it? Take care.